I'm going to start to record. Pani, jak pani się czuje?
Jestem zmęczona.
Zmęczona. O,
What did we say?
dlaczego?
Dlaczego? Dlatego, że mój chłopak się przeprowadza w ten weekend i pomagam mu i
O.
chciałabym pójść spać.
Okay. So to jest duży praca. So yeah.
Wait.
So basic. So
You want to pause?
right.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say przepraszam.
I
heard the word
patient.
Right.
I think I
Yeah.
heard the word
What are you
boy.
talking about now?
I said chłopak. Nina,
Chłopak.
Chłopak.
So
which
what
also
is
means
what's
boyfriend.
chłopak?
Colloquially.
Yay.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. Chłopak, it's like little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Can I ask a question that's really, really basic, but I've just done it through memorization, and that's really an inefficient way of doing this language? Is I've always just remembered endings of words just by like remembering them in sentences. Ow, that hurts. And do you have any advice on the what's the word I'm looking for?
Declension.
Declension. Yes.
So I told your dad already. I like this
I
is
know
my
that was my
first
question.
language. And so it's hard to think about how to teach it, but I did go to Polish school for many a year, and there are rules around declensions. There's 7 specific cases, and then we have feminine, masculine, and neuter nouns, which is 21 different endings just for regular nouns. So like have so much fun with that, but I would suggest trying to look over it and just also understanding like what they are, right? Because it's weird for me to say you can have 21 different versions of a noun, right? But when you start understanding like there's a version for a subject, a version for a direct object, an indirect object, and hopefully that's like a little bit helpful, at least for maybe subject, direct, and indirect object. The other ones are a little less frequently used, but just as
Can I ask a dumb question about what you mean by a direct and an indirect object?
Yeah. So if you have a sentence and you say the girl gave me a sandwich, I believe girl is the subject, me is the indirect object, and sandwich is the direct object or opposite. I don't remember. It's been
No, it is the direct object.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay.
Gave a
Yeah,
sandwich. You would diagram
that-
that and make that.
I
the
missed
object.
that. That was so fun. Go ahead, Simon.
The way to think about the way I've always been taught to think about direct and indirect objects are like the subject is obviously the subject of the sentence, who is doing what. Then the direct object is what is being like verbaged
Done.
on.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then the
What is
indirect
it being
object
done
is
to?
either who's doing the verb or who's like kind of
being
removed
done
from the
to.
situation. Yeah.
Who's it
Yeah.
being done to? Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Does-
Can you say that sentence again, Carolina, and describe which one is the subject and the, because I was writing it down, but I didn't.
Yeah, no,
finish.
you're fine. We're gonna try, and y'all are gonna correct me if I'm wrong. But I said, the girl gave me a sandwich. Is that what I said? Okay,
Yeah.
so the girl is the
Yes.
subject.
Yep.
She's doing the sentence. The sandwich is what's being given. So it's what the verb is being done to, I guess.
Acting
So
on.
that's the right. That's
Yeah.
the direct object. And then the sandwich is being given to the indirect object. So in that case, it's me.
That's
Okay,
a good.
got it.
So
In Polish.
well, here's a question that I have. So Polish uses what's called the dative case. And that's like to me, to you, to us, I think. The indirect object is the dative. Am I right about that?
I
Or
believe so. We should also look this up because I never learned these words in English.
oh,
I
Yes.
believe you're correct, Dad. I think dative is the
okay. But just to say that you do run into some dative, but
Totally,
subject,
yeah.
object, dative.
And the way,
Yeah, yeah.
if this is at all helpful, the way that we were taught declensions is by learning what questions each declension answers.
Hmm.
So
Huh.
yeah, so it would be like who, what is the subject. Hold on, let me just look this up before I butcher this. It has been many years.
Yeah.
So, and then komu czemu is like to whom, for whom, or what, and that would be like the dative case and so forth and so on. So it gets a little bit, again, I think it's a way to like contextualize or make sense of this. It's ugly, and honestly, Claire, like, yeah, it's good to memorize, but Polish is an ugly, hard
I mean, yeah, I mean,
language.
memorization is
So
just like,
just
it's,
like get talking, and no one's gonna judge you. You go to Poland and you say a sentence and you fuck it up, like people are gonna be like, wow, you tried. This isn't like,
They're not like the French.
yeah.
they're not, yeah,
Right.
it's
Anyone
very
make
hard for me.
a sliver of effort, it's like
Yeah.
hats off. So
Yeah. So,
Um, yeah.
just earlier, I feel the need to just put the earlier conversation in some context. So I used pani, which is formal. So
Yes.
pani
Mhm.
is when you meet someone for the first time, or you're talking to someone in authority or an elder. And I just asked pani formally, Carolina, how are you feeling? And Carolina said she was tired. And she was, and say again, tired. You said it so beautifully.
Zmęczona.
Zmęczonym.
Allow me to
Jestem
write that out for
zmęczonym.
you. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, let me
So,
just pop these in the chat.
yeah. So, yeah, that's a good idea. So, yeah, the
Um,
chat should be working okay.
I don't have my
Yeah.
Polish keyboard
Is
set
it
up.
okay?
Yeah, no, the chat's fine. I just want to get you
Okay.
the right
Yeah, I just, so, I
letters.
just don't, if it's not there, I can try and grab it. Yeah, so zmęczonym, jestem zmęczonym. So jestem, I am, Carolina, that's
Jestem.
implied in zmęczonym. So you'll
Oh, yeah.
rarely hear, right, in Polish, the pronouns.
Mhm.
You'll really hear the verb that holds the pronoun itself, zmęczonym, right?
Yeah.
I am tired.
So zmęczona for a girl, zmęczony for a guy. I put both. I put girl first because we never go first. So my
Yes,
whole victory
That's
for
very
let's-
true. Yeah.
let's vow to keep that up during these Zoom calls if there are any more.
But yeah, you're totally
yeah.
right. I feel like a dead tell for someone who doesn't speak Polish is saying ja jestem. Like that
Tak.
just like grates against my ears.
You know, and it was a mistake that I made for a long time when I went to Poland. And for this time, I finally started reading and speaking and trying to kind of get back my real memory about it. And that was one of the first things I thought was, whoa, I must have really sounded like a hobo, you know, using the pronoun every time.
But so you'd
it's
say, you say
zmęczony.
yes
Sorry.
them or no? Because that's where I get confused, because talking with grandma, she would say like yes them.
Yeah.
Well, that means I am. So if you ask her,
Right.
like, you know, are you sitting there? Yes, them. Yes, I
Yes, them.
am. You would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
So the conjugation of the verb includes the
Right, yeah, I get
Okay.
that. Yeah, you
Yeah.
do the same, right,
Like
but
Spanish or French or whatever.
right, but technically you could just say like tired. You don't have to say I
Well,
am
I am
tired.
In the same way that if someone asks you in English, how are you doing? And you're just like, tired.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying, Claire. That you just,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's the same as, like, you do that in I guess in French is the only other thing I know. Like, you never say like I don't know, you just say don't know.
So that's
Yeah.
different. French,
sorry.
like saying je sais pas, right?
Like, yeah, you would never say je ne sais pas, you just say je sais pas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite the same just because we don't have two negatives, right? In French, you have
True. It's just like,
pas,
right,
but like
like me.
nie wiem.
Nie wiem.
Nie wiem, don't know.
Nie wiem ten gość.
Tak. Ja nie wiem.
Mm-hmm.
Nie wiem, don't know. Right. Right. Yeah. I think it happens, it sounds as though it may happen with more frequency in Polish than in French. It's a regular thing. That's the way people talk,
Yeah.
you know?
I feel usually you get your
s-
pronoun from like context clues,
Right.
if that makes sense. So like if you're talking about your sister or whatever, you're not gonna be
Moja
like
siostra,
every time.
my
Yeah,
sister.
moja
Siostra.
siostra.
Mhm.
Siostra.
Mhm. You have a few of those.
So you said you were tired, and I asked why you were tired, and you said that you had been helping your partner move,
Correct.
and, and that was a lot of work.
Yes. Yes, it has been. Surprise, Claire. Mike is moving to Astoria.
Oh, you're moving to
Fun.
Astoria.
I'm not. Michael
Oh.
is
Oh,
moving to
okay.
Astoria.
Got it. Okay. Got it. It's a great neighborhood, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
okay.
There's no transportation there. That's the
There's
shit
no
thing.
transportation out of
Very
Astoria.
true, but not
Yeah.
my problem.
Okay. So, yeah.
Should we
So-
are you guys like, I don't know where to start, but do you know the phonetics of the alphabet, like all the funky letters and stuff? Should we?
little.
I do for the most part. I still like the word for sister, siostra.
Siostra.
Siostra. That's one of the ones I have difficulty with because I don't understand when Polish like ignores. They do a lot of the English thing where they just kind of ignore letters. Feels like
No. Polish
Oh,
is
okay.
perfectly phonetic, and that is my favorite part about a language that has so many other things wrong with it. There are some like there are some letter pairings that we don't have in English that may seem like we did something funky with, like the SI, for example, where it makes like
Yeah.
the sh sound, but it's like totally consistent across the language. So thankfully there's no like weird surprises once you nail down the
So
basic.
that's one of the ones that because I knew like the
Oh.
DZ is like a J,
Mhm.
they have the
Yep.
CZ,
Yep, true.
but I didn't know. So SI is sh, like
Yeah.
an SH sound almost. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, it softens the S. It gives us that sound. So Carolina, this is you know a lot of stuff. In other words, unlike English, spelling is consistent.
Holy, yeah.
So if you
The only
get the
thing that is-
sounds, that's going to be the same sound each time you see it. It's
can
not going to
read
be a
anything.
different sound
Yep.
with a different set of letters, the way English can work.
Exactly.
I should definitely look
Oh.
up the alphabet then, because I am getting murdered every time I have to say book in Polish or spell book in Polish.
Książki.
Książka, yeah.
Książka.
Actually, Książka sounds correct now because it's KSI, isn't it?
There you go. Yep.
So it's like you're saying a KSH, like KSHI. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
Książka.
you go. Yeah, there's a few Grace like letter combinations outside of just the alphabet that you'll have to get familiar with, like CH, for example, makes always an H sound. We have
Yeah,
Yes, like
cool.
moment, like that word moment, Sheila or something like that is moment. I just learned that.
Sheila.
CHWI.
What's the word?
Fila. I'll type it.
Here we go.
Gila. Oh shoot.
Oh, chwila, yes.
Yeah.
Give me a
Chwila.
moment.
Mhm.
Tak.
Yes.
Muszę dostać chwilę.
Or,
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
or mom,
yeah,
mom
mhm.
Sheila.
Mam chwilę. Yeah, like I have a minute to talk to you. Great.
Yeah,
Good pronunciation, Grace. Okay.
dobrze. Dobrze mówisz po polsku.
Dobrze mówisz po polsku.
Tak.
But yeah, so
Huh.
there are those like few, or like Simon mentioned, like CZ or SC, but like once you nail those down, and I can quickly after we're done just like jot down a list of the like exhaustive ones, then you're good.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Wow, that's terrific. So, yeah, jaka pogoda, pani ma w Nowym Jorku? So what
Mamy
kind of weather do
okropną
you have?
pogodę. Yeah. And also to point out, same as I think most other languages that do the like formal tense, it always comes with third person singular
Right.
following. So if you're
So,
saying ma'am,
uh-huh.
yeah, go ahead.
Dobrze. No, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. I'm,
Just
but I'm just thinking
spitballing.
there's the informal.
Mhm. Ty.
You know, jak tam jest pogoda, jak, you know,
Mhm.
jak mamy,
Jaką mamy
jak ci ma,
pogodę?
yeah, tak, jaka pogoda, ty masz, I guess, I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay. Yeah, okay, so Grace is nodding her head.
Mosh just have,
That's
I've
always
got
a good
that.
sign, I
You
think.
have.
Yes.
That's-
Informal.
I do have a question with Dad. The word yak, how do you pronounce, how do you spell that?
Is it J-A-K?
Mhm.
J-A-K.
There it is.
Okay,
Yak,
that's
in
why
the-
my
yeah,
brain
in
is
the
not
chat.
making that connection. Okay, that makes so much more sense now.
Is Jacques what? Is that what?
Yak,
'Cause
Yeah,
Jack-
like
Yak, how?
yak shamash.
How?
like how.
Okay,
What
Yak
is
is
how?
how, right.
Okay.
Yak shamash, how are you feeling? How are you holding yourself?
Mhm.
Really, literally.
Yeah.
No,
Jaką mamy pogodę?
tak,
Mamy okropną pogodę.
bad
Pada-
weather.
Mhm. Pada
So,
deszcz, jest burza,
deszcz and rain, burza is
storm,
a storm, thunderstorm.
the fun word, burza,
Yeah, burza, B-R-U-R-Z-A,
Z-A. Yep.
right, okay.
Wait. Sorry.
B-U-R-Z-A.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Burja.
Burza, yeah.
Burja.
That's one
Yeah.
of the, RZ is another fun letter combo.
Yeah.
Right, the zh. So I have another question. I have a question. So we've been texting one another and trying to put on our Polish, I know. And so what was the oh gosh, oh dobrze.
Mhm.
So
Please
Please don't ask me why. Oh, dobrze. I thought you were going to ask me when you use RZ and when
Yeah.
you use Z with a dot, because that is,
Oh, that
Nothing I can
flummoxes
answer.
me too. I don't think I understand that very well. Is
there
there
are
a
some
rule for
rules,
that?
probably. I was scared. We don't even have to go there. Let's not. Another
Okay.
time.
So it's a little bit of a guessing game if you're hearing it, but it's usually RZ. I think that's more popular.
Think it is, and again, I can look up rules around when what is used, like CH versus H, RZ
Mhm.
versus
Yeah.
Z with dot.
Because the Z with the dot is like
Two.
Duja is like that.
Exactly. Mhm.
Yeah.
Duja, big,
That
something that's
is-
Yeah.
large.
Yep.
And
Okay.
Mawa. Small.
Small.
Just showing off that
Mawa.
I've been doing my work.
Okay, cozy.
No, dobrze.
I
So-
told Eli he was wearing pink pants the other day.
That's true. And it was I thought that the declension worked. Pink fit right with pants. I thought it was in the
Without hair.
same, as
can't
best as I
remember.
could tell.
Rozovi, Spodny.
Różowe
Spodnie.
spodnie.
Spodnie, right, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so it wouldn't be spodnie ever. It would always be well, again,
Well,
okay. Pants are neuter, right?
pants are neuter.
It must be.
I'm trying to run through the declensions to determine if there would be ever a spodni case. I don't think so.
Okay, so I was
Okay.
wrong, Grace. You screwed it up.
Whatever.
You gave it a try. That's the way to
Yeah.
do it, though. You know? So dobrze, just, how are you feeling? Dobrze.
Dobrze, źle, tak sobie.
Tak sobie, I'm so,
Mhm.
you know. So when someone just says like good, this is good, this is going along well.
Mhm.
Dobrze in just that form is appropriate.
Mhm.
When I was actually in the restaurant downstairs from the Airbnb listening to the women behind the counter talk, one of them said dobra,
Oh, yeah.
and just like that, as if she were answering a question saying good. So
Mhm.
so how does I don't know. You said that sounds reasonable to you. What's the difference between the two?
Yeah. So first of all, hi Eli. Finally,
Hey,
the
Eli.
day come. Very exciting.
Oh yeah, Eli, Carolina,
You are
Eli,
my
and
last
you know
cousin.
everybody else. That's
Yeah.
Claire in the dark.
I've collected all the Pokemons.
I'm mostly listening. I might just Alex went down pretty easily, so I might just read in a bit, but I'll be here for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah, to answer your question though, dobra is like informal, like okay. Like, oh,
Ah,
go do this? Okay, cool. Dobra. Dobra is also the feminine version of good. So if someone was asking a question, they might have been asking about like a feminine noun,
mhm,
and the answer would then be dobra. Like, how is the cake? Dobra.
okay. Right. Oh, I see. But
But
and you
I'm
wouldn't.
assuming it would be the like okay, because saying dobra by itself to if someone asks you how something was feels a little weird to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That helps. Carolina, ty masz burzę tam w
Mhm.
Nowym Jorku. You have storms in New York City.
Tak,
I duży deszcz.
dużo deszczu. Mhm.
Deszczu. Okay. So dużo deszczu.
Mhm.
Is that right? Like a lot of rain.
Yep.
Okay.
Duży deszcz
That's a
would
weird
mean
way to
big
say
rain.
that. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
big
so
rain.
that's where declensions would come in, right? Duży
Right.
deszcz is big rain. Dużo deszczu, it's like big of rain.
Okay.
Like a lot of water,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Like more drops in the air.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
know?
Like a lot of water would
More
actually
of
be a
them.
way- Exactly. To think about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is cool. I've never had to think about these things.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it
this is
actually makes-
interesting to me too. And I
it
hope
makes
it's interesting
sense.
to everybody else.
Is duja often used for the word more?
Like in what context?
Like it's a, like you say, instead of saying big rain, you would say more rain.
More like a
Okay.
lot of. I think a lot of is a good way to think about it, because if you're saying more, it's więcej,
Okay.
more of something.
Right,
Yeah, because more is
więcej.
like a comparative inherently,
Right.
right?
Okay,
Right,
that makes sense.
więcej.
Yeah.
Więcej. How do you spell that? How does that look?
I got you. Hold on, let me find the little keyboard I was using.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah,
Więcej. So,
like so.
więcej. Więcej. So
Oh.
there's that E with that little
Yep.
L thing.
Yep.
And say, yeah, I forget about the J making that almost that like a Y would be at the end.
Exactly.
Right. That's cool. So, I tak, so,
Yeah, u was
I-
jaka pogoda? Your turn.
proszę pani? So, proszę. I'm so used to that too. You know,
No,
well,
I-
here's the thing. It in my mind, it sets
Uh,
me up a little bit more
I
easily
should not say
for
that.
because I was always a kid talking
Yeah.
to people.
Of course.
So
yeah.
there was always
Oh yeah,
fun,
DJ
funny,
Kuya.
you know, and I don't know. I don't know.
No, I
how-
mean, I literally physically could not force myself to call you informal because of like deep programming by my aunts. So
yeah, right, exactly.
I
There, yeah,
hear
it's right. And you're a guest, so it's a little bit of programming for me too.
totally.
Um,
I was just saying, jaką macie pogodę u was?
My mamy tutaj deszczu też?
Też macie deszcz?
Tak.
Okay,
I,
so it's also rain. Też is also, right?
right,
Let me write
right.
that for
So
y'all.
mamy, we have rain also. What kind of weather do you have? We have rain also. Ale było w tym, summer. Is that lato?
Mhm.
Okay.
Sorry, I just learned seasons the other day.
Yeah.
There we go. So, no ten lato była bardzo nie mamy tutaj dużo deszczu.
Tak? No dobrze.
Tak, ale teraz mamy. So we didn't have a lot of rain before, and now we do. Teraz mamy. Now, we have. Okay? Yeah. Ale mamy tutaj gdzie my jesteśmy.
Mhm.
So gdzie jesteśmy, let's cut that pronoun right out of there. Ogród.
Mhm.
I w tym ogrodzie, so we have a garden, and in the garden, w tym ogrodzie, mamy, oh boy, sałatka. Is that lettuce, or what is that?
Sałata, yeah. Sałatka is like the diminutive.
Oh, sałatka, little bitty lettuce leaves. So sawata,
Sałata.
is that like, although, so those are the big, that's the chard, probably, because that's got big leaves. Okay.
I feel like sałata, I always think of the plant more, and sałatka is like a salad.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah,
Okay.
sałatka is like, oh, let's have a little salad with supper.
Yeah.
Możemy dostać sałatka. Can we get a salad? Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, dostać is to get, to have, to receive, actually, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just learned that one.
Yeah. So mamy sałatka,
Czyli w
sałata.
ogrodzie macie sałatę, co jeszcze?
Tak. To jeszcze.
Widziałam wasz
A-
ogród, wiem, że jest więcej.
O, tam jest dużo, yeah, vegetables and fruits.
Owoce i warzywa.
Warzywa, right, are vegetables.
Yeah.
And say fruit again.
Owoce.
Owoce.
Owoce, yeah.
Owoce are fruit. That's right. Like peaches and stuff like that. Yeah. Wow. So what do we have now? I've got so this is the part of my brain that, so Gracie, what's the word for grape?
I don't know, but I was gonna say like maj pomidori or
Masz
pomidora.
Mamy pomidory.
Super,
Dziękuję
macie.
bardzo. Yes, we do.
Okay,
We got those
brave.
tomatoes.
Somebody else speak up too. Come on, guys. Grape is vinogrona, by the way, which is like
Vinogrona.
super
So like a bunch of grapes is vinogrona. One grape is a vinogron.
vinogrono. But I feel
Vigrono.
like it's one of those words that you don't speak about in the singular much.
Okay. I'm never
Yeah.
gonna do that
Yeah.
again.
You always have a
You don't
grape.
say grape, you
This
say
is like a
grapes.
warning.
Yeah.
Polish secret police will hunt me down.
I
Keep me from saying that.
feel like the only time I've heard vinogrono is in relation to like the type of grape for a wine or something.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, okay.
So
So,
vinogrona is
mamy vinogrone. Pumpkin,
dynie.
dynia,
One dynia, multiple dynie.
on dynia.
Here,
Yeah,
let me-
yeah. Type that in. Dynia. That's really
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. That I never knew. We never had pumpkins in the house.
Yeah.
So. Okay, dynia. Oh gosh. What else? Oh, shoot. Carrot,
Marchewki.
marchewki.
Marchew-
Yes, and marchewka is
Yeah,
one
marchewka is
carrot.
one. Yep.
Marchewki is a bunch of carrots. Okay.
That's also worth noting. It's the diminutive again, but nobody really calls it marchew because I don't know, it just sounds austere and not what you would say. But if you notice the like ka ending is often associated with like diminutive. So Karolinka would be
Right.
so Karolina. Yeah, maybe you just pick up on that as we go.
Tak.
Like
No-
Jivchenka, like
Dziewczynka.
little girl.
Dziewczyna is
Dziewczynka, dziewczyna. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. No.
Okay, I see
Mm.
who's been studying. Grace is putting everybody to shame.
Oh no, like she's on Duolingo and she's putting me to shame. She's
Like
already
all the
my
time.
Good. We're
already
gonna
passed
start
my
competition
XP. It's insane.
in here. I think I like secretly creep on your Duolingo because I'm on Claire's family.
Oh yeah, you're part. Yeah, you've been part of our Duolingo for a long time, actually.
It's me.
Well,
Well,
then I
isn't
have to
Jet-
creep on people's Duolingo too, so I can talk to people. Holy mackerel.
did you say cherries? Or that's like wish don't
Vishnya.
wish vishne?
Vishnya. Let me write it down.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so Vishnya is like the sour cherries.
But there's another one that's like CZE.
Yep, Chereshnya.
Vishnya. So there's that. See, now there the S has a little line over it that gives you that sh sound.
Mm-hmm.
Chereshnya.
Chereshnya, yep.
Chereshnya.
Chereshnya.
Yeah. So those are like sweet cherries or
Yeah, chereshnya.
Okay.
Those are the ones that like we grow.
we grow sour cherries. We grow vishnya for pies.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
then Grandma thought they were sweet cherries. Move it along.
Okay. That's because grandma wanted things to be sweet all the time.
All the time. Okay.
Plus she was used to, yeah, I was going to say, just dropping that in. There's sometimes you find cherries in vodka.
And how to grandma team who aren't Claire or your dad.
Babcha.
Yeah, is it
Babchi?
babka?
Babchi.
Babchi.
Oh yeah,
Babchi.
babcha. Yeah, that makes sense. And yep, babcha.
What's the
Does that mean babka is a little grandmother?
Baba, okay, so baba is like a word you'd use for a lady like rudely. You'd be like, that woman like down the street. So babka's like a little one of those.
and it's a cake.
More importantly.
Right.
A babka is a cake?
Oh my god, yeah. I thought that's what you were referring to.
I
Yeah,
wasn't.
babka is like a fruit
Like
cake.
a pound cake. Like those like ones with the hole in the middle, like a bunt.
Oh yeah. Like a bun cake. Yeah.
So cake is,
Ciasto.
say it again.
Ciasto.
Chasto.
Oh, like
Chasto, yeah, okay.
wait. I can't think of what the word is for cookies, but that's got the
Yeah.
part of
That's
the spelling.
the way they translated
That's
Duolingo is
Ciasteczka.
because cakes are
Like
small
that.
cookies.
Yeah.
Ciasteczka, right?
Yeah.
Ciasteczka.
Ciasteczka. Dobrze.
Ślicznie.
That was super confusing in
Yeah.
Poland.
Yeah. I'm glad that was like the worst of the confusion.
I mean, well, most of the other words I
That's
didn't
cool.
understand, but then I look at them and be like, you know what? I should know the word for that, but I don't.
But
Again,
But
we
yes
have
doesn't mean pies. It's always very sad. Because I
Just
look
like
at
that.
yes and I'm like, pies,
Yeah.
not
the-
pies.
diminutive again. Ends in ka. Now you
Ah.
know.
True.
Yep.
Unless it's a singular cookie and then it's just deco. Just go.
Yep. Exactly.
Ciasteczko. And a plural cookies is what?
It's ciasteczka with an A. The
Ciasteczka, just
singular is
with an
O.
A.
Yep. So singular.
Okay.
Ciasteczko.
Ciasteczka. Okay. That's great.
I think I want to say plurals are usually fairly regular. Don't
Huh.
quote me on that when you're disappointed in the future, but I think they generally follow the same pattern where like O's become A's, A's become Y's, I think, like dziewczyna, dziewczyny,
Jabko, jabka.
jabłko, jabłka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. That's good to know.
So try to find
No.
patterns. Hopefully that helps.
Co jeszcze mamy w ogrodzie? No,
Też-
mamy też oh boy. Come on now. No, yaki what's the word for vegetables?
Warzywa.
Say it again, warzywa.
Mhm.
Jakie warzywy są w borszczu?
Jakie warzywa są w barszczu?
Borszczu.
Oh,
Czekaj.
smaczne.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite word.
Buraki.
Yeah, Duolingo really has put us, there are no specifics here.
Buraki są w barszczu.
Buraki. No,
Mhm.
mamy buraki też w ogrodzie.
Czyli
have beets
gotujecie
too.
barszcz? Często?
Proszę?
Czy często gotujecie barszcz?
Tak.
Tak.
O, zazdroszczę.
I bardzo smaczny jest.
No na
No,
pewno.
to jest dla, what's the word for, I always get confused. Christmas Eve.
Wigilia.
Wilia. No, tak. Mamy z Wilia. Mamy na
Na Wigilię macie barszcz.
Wilia. Right. Okay. So
Right.
on Vilia. On right. That's the yeah.
So,
I don't know why I was confused. Good. Okay. So i bardzo smaczny jest, tak. I no, co jeszcze?
have you been introduced to the concept that no is like yeah?
No.
No, that's horrible.
Just drop
So-
that one there.
So,
So when you're thinking of things, I drop a no. I'm like,
Mhm.
so that and I never
Like a
really
filler
understood.
word. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's like a filler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can
Yeah, so,
answer
yeah, okay.
affirmatively saying no.
Right. No. Okay.
Mm,
So that's what I was trying to do.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a horrible part of your language if
Indeed.
the no and yes sound so similar.
Yeah.
no. No, na Wilia
Mhm.
tutaj mamy pierwsze musimy dostać opłatek
Mhm.
od całej rodziny.
Yep.
So we have to get opłatek. The first thing we do is we do opłatek with the whole family, with cała rodzina, our whole family, right? No potem,
Mhm.
later on,
After, yep.
yep, jemy borscht. Is that right? Would it be eat borscht, jemy borscht, or
Jemy barszcz, yeah.
jemy? Okay, so we are eating borscht. We eat borscht. Jemy borscht. Potem, w borszczu mamy uszki.
Uszka,
In the borscht, we have uszki. Mamy uszki.
little ears.
Right. With the mushroom pig's ears, whatever, little pig's ears. We're gonna have to seance grandma back into existence to have her tell us about all this. So mamy uszki w borszczu. Potem mamy pierogi.
Mhm.
Dwa
Dwa rodzaje
types.
pierogów? Rodzaje.
Proszę?
Dwa rodzaje pierogów.
Dwa rodzaju
Yeah.
rodzaju
Rodzaje.
rodzaje pierogów.
Pierogów. Mhm.
Pierogów.
You'll
Rodzaje
notice that it's the
pierogów.
type of pierogi, so you're using the dative there. You're not saying
Yeah.
rodzaje pierogi, you're saying rodzaje
Of
what pierogów.
right of. So that of functions in the dative sometimes. No, dwa. Kapuściany.
Jemy
Mamy tam jest kapusta.
Mhm.
So we have cabbage.
Kapuściana. Yep.
Oh, we're still on the pierogi.
We are
Oh yeah,
correct.
Dad's trying to think of potato.
Yeah, all right. So this is going to be about Dad's trying to think of. Is that what this?
I don't know what
I
potato is
moved
either.
on.
I
don't
know
look it
you
up.
could have Googled potato in the time it took you to make fun of your father, so
I have already.
very
I
good.
thought
Let's
we
hear
were
it.
Okay,
talking about the
Buster.
next
Let's
chord.
I
have
think
it.
it's Ziemniak?
Yeah, ziemniak.
Yeah.
So pierogi z ziemniakami because plural potatoes.
Mm-hmm. Tak.
Oh, potatoes. Ziemniakami.
Well,
Okay.
potatoes
Okay, everybody, now-
ziemniaki with potatoes z ziemniakami. That's another declension.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, that's
sorry.
bad. Okay, I will look.
I
But that-
appreciate us doing this. This is nice, but I'm gonna jump off to read just while I'm still awake.
Okay,
You-
and we'll let you know when we come back together again.
Yeah, this is good.
Okay. Eli, we'll see you later.
Wait, so if something, so how come sometimes like Kobieta will say, why is it sometimes? Oh, wait a second. Never mind. I confused myself. Never mind.
Sure.
But how come sometimes? Oh, never mind.
Should we like spend some time with declensions, maybe? Just
Sure.
to like lay the groundwork of what you're up against here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know what I found helpful right from the start, Carolina, when you were talking about this is it never occurred to me that there are a limited number of declensions, like
Yeah.
21 given male, female,
Mhm.
excuse me, neuter. So, or neutral. Yeah. So that is, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like honestly, like the best way to do that is probably like to start off with memorization of those endings, and then you just get better at pulling them out of your head faster.
Let me see if I can drop this here. Okay, I just took a screenshot off of Wikipedia, so you have like a little reference.
Okay.
So those are all of the names of the cases. You have nominative, which is the subject one. Accusative, which is I need the questions with these. This is very annoying. I don't know.
Also, I found a thing on Reddit that does all the endings, possible endings for
Oh, amazing.
the cases.
Oh, wow. That's cool. I think that's helpful, especially if you can link them up with verbs.
Mhm.
The book I have that helps me has a lot of that. And there are a lot of tables of a lot of different verbs. A lot of them decline the same way, but tagging them into or adding them to verbs when you're declining them can be helpful.
Totally.
To me,
Yeah.
And
at least it's helpful.
screenshot you sent, Simon, is also cool because it shows you this the adjectives changing with the nouns.
Mhm.
And that's something that gets slept on because declension
Oh.
is technically nouns only, but your adjective is always going to correspond to your noun. The one thing I will tell you is go ahead and ignore the vocative or the vocative case.
Negative.
Nobody uses that ever. It's like very formal. It's being like, oh, Simon, how are you today? Like nobody addresses one another.
And you're in a
that way.
tuxedo when you're talking.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think the
like
vocative is
Shakespeare.
only used in English for like interjections, and I think that's it. That's the only time I've ever heard of
Yeah.
anyone refer to the vocative. So
So you can eliminate that. With,
eliminate that.
right, we're down to 18.
Well,
But yeah, so for example,
Oh.
why are these out of order? I don't like that. Oh, because it doesn't include, your screenshot doesn't include the like subject case.
Mhm.
Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So that one's excluded, but then you have a case where it's like with someone or something. You have a case that's of someone or something.
uh-huh.
A bunch of other ones that I will review before next time, so I don't sound like I'm just making things up at you. But yeah, I think
Well,
it's
this is
good to
helpful.
understand what they are so that you don't get as surprised when things like switch up on you out of nowhere.
So nouns have declensions, adjectives have declensions, and verbs only have tense.
Yes,
Okay.
correct. And we actually don't have that many tenses, which is good for you. So that's a nice thing about Polish. You have present tense, past, future. Actually, we don't even have a future. We have a like am going to tense.
Oh,
That
yeah,
sounds
that
pretty
makes sense.
Polish.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
Well, you
will
can't,
it.
you can never be
I'm
certain
just
about the
gonna,
future.
yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna do it. It's already here.
Not in
Might as
this
well get it done.
economy.
Might as well work on it, whatever it is.
So verbs shouldn't be too bad, hopefully.
Yeah, verbs haven't been. The things that trip me up are the nouns, because it's not a way I'm used to thinking. Like, I've done French and German, which do tenses immediately. And German apparently does declensions, but I've never seen it in any of my German. So
Although verbs do trip me up when they switch from the E with the thing on it for me to AM, like in Koham and whatever it is to listen, that one.
Suham?
Yeah,
Wuhan?
Suham. It just trips me up that they're AM instead of the E, like Pisha or Nosha, like one of those ones.
I'm
Or
not sure.
Nosi, rather.
That's fair. No, you were right, Nosha. That's fair. I don't know. But those are both first person singular.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, part of it is hearing it also, or reading it enough and seeing it enough to think, yeah, to get that into your head. The idea of memorizing, I think, as many as you can, just keep going and
Yeah.
then playing around with it.
And then also, like, once you're at a level where you can watch a Polish show with like English subtitles, that's like peak, because then you've unlocked it to yourself such that you can really just listen to it and then pick it up,
Are
as
there
time.
Is there Polish programming in the United States, or can I get something like that?
They have tons of shows on like
I
Netflix.
guess, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine it'd be possible.
There was this actually really cute show about monsters in Krakow, so it wasn't like super refined, and you get to see the city, so feel free to watch
Ooh.
that one.
Okay, we'll check that out. That sounds good.
And they use some English too. They go back and forth, so I was like, I feel so seen.
So Carolina, thank you. Dziękuję bardzo.
Bardzo mi miło.
La ten Zoom call. And I'm wondering if you'd be like willing, I don't know, maybe in a couple of weeks to join us on a Sunday at 7. We're going to keep practicing. I was going to also suggest, what you guys are doing, like typing stuff into the text, I think is really helpful for me and maybe for the rest of us. So I think
it's really, yeah, sorry.
I was going to say, and even if it's not completely correct, you're pitching it out there. And I think hearing it to yourself, writing it for yourself, and reading it the best you can is going to help no matter what.
Well, one of the things that's helpful is, like, it seems like because Polish is like, it's purposely phonetic, it's easier to actually picture the words in your head as you're speaking them than it is in English, which to me often trips me up, which is why I don't do it.
Well, you don't speak
because
English.
when I speak English, because English is just, it's pronunciation's other place, words very rarely have like a connection to how they're written, but it feels like in Polish, very much so. You have diminutive case, you have a lot of other stuff that where the way it's written contains all the information you need, including the pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because Polish isn't borrowing from like 5 different languages in the way that English is,
And I would believe that it's probably a relatively, at least in terms of its written component, that's a relatively newer language. Because I would assume that it's like probably Cyrillic for a long time, or close to. It's always been.
Fuck that, no.
Really?
As far as I
Spoken
know,
like a
I've
true
never heard
Pole
of
about
Polish
Russia.
being written in Cyrillic.
Yeah.
I think, our written language has been around at least since 966, which is the year in which Poland was baptized and became a country. So I don't know if you're comparing it to like
English, that's
Mandarin?
as long as English,
Brand new.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where I read this, but on an illuminated text, so like on a Latin text of the Bible, somebody had penciled into the margin something like "I'll stir the soup now" in Polish. And it was the first sentence recorded, and it probably went back to at least to the Dark Ages before 1000.
That's
Um,
impressive to keep your written language that consistent.
I don't know how consistent it's been, but it's been around a long time.
I mean, if it's perfectly phonetic, that's pretty consistent. Most languages
Yeah.
are not perfectly
Yeah.
phonetic.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
Uh,
So anyway, I'm gonna say goodnight, dobranoc to everybody.
And you
And-
guys, if you ever want to like start a little group chat and we can just talk at each other, happy to.
Ooh, that sounds like
That
fun
sounds
too.
good. Yeah.
Great. That's
Truly,
wonderful.
any excuse to strong arm Claire into spending time with me.
I know. Babies just destroy people's
I
lives.
know, how rude.
They don't
of me.
destroy people's lives.
Yes, they do.
That's fine.
They are adorable. They enhance your life.
Very
It's like heroin.
Adorable.
It enhances your life.
Yes. Appalachia is so much enhanced.
Right. Anyway,
right.
Carolina, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. This was wholesome. I
Yeah,
love-
this was a lot of fun. And we'll
Yeah, this
see
is
one
good.
another again maybe in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Thank you.
Talk to you guys soon.
Dziękuję.
No,
Guys,
Dziękuję.
do
bye.
widzenia.
Do
Dobranoc.
widzenia.
Tak.
That's what I get.